We're live.
So what are we discussing today anyway?
Well, let me
we started.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Kickout. We have a special guest here with us today. But before we do that, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Skillet.
My name is Mex.
Mex, how are you today?
Not too bad, not too bad. Looking forward to the conversation and to hear from the big man himself.
Of course, when the big man himself you're referring to is our special guest. With you, if you're watching us through the YouTube link, you will already see him stuffing down his food while he's getting ready to talk to us. He's a family member to the Kickout podcast. He's been on the show many times before, and it's always a pleasure to have him on. Mr. Big Wavy, Roy Johnson.
Well, actually,
my bro, how are you?
Actually, I want to introduce myself as Giant Gonzalez because I listen to I listen religiously to the Kickout, so I know you're doing this thing where you announce yourself as someone else. So what's going on?
Let's start this again. You're right. Let's start this again.
So it's rewind.
Fair play.
Let's take it back from the beginning.
Pull it. Hello, my name is Doink the Clown. Hey, Doink the Clown.
Hello, my name is Mr. Montez Ford.
Hello, my name is Giant Gonzalez.
And you are now tuning to another episode of the Kickout. Mr. Gonzalez, aka Roy Johnson, Big Wavy. How are you today? Thank you for joining us today, my friend. So good.
I'm all right, actually. This has been a long time coming.
It has been, man.
I've missed you guys.
We missed you too, bro. You know you're family to us, brother. You know it's not just this. You're not a special guest. You're part of the family. So it's always lovely to have you on. And I just wanted to ask you because we haven't had you on. You know, last time you were on the Kickout podcast was definitely before COVID times. So we wanted to catch up with how Mr. Roy Johnson has been doing during COVID and where you are now in 2021.
Wait, when was the last time?
I think the last time we had you on the show
was it New York.
It might have been New Jersey, WrestleMania weekend. Yeah, when we all watched Kofi win that title. That might have been the last time you were on the show, my friend.
But I think it was before Mania, I'm pretty sure. I remember sitting and eating chicken in your apartment with. Yeah,
but that would have been us.
So
that would have been us reviewing NXT, probably.
Yes.
And
Hall of Fame. So I went to your place twice. I remember now.
Yeah,
I got a nice taxi ride with Flu.
Yes.
Through Manhattan. It was actually really nice.
Okay, wicked. I think he mentioned that on the podcast. I think he did actually. Yeah,
it was actually like I was just filming because I'm never going to get that view ever again. Really, so.
I vividly remember. It's hilarious. So when we did the red carpet, we'll interview all the wrestlers on the red carpet. Shout out to my brother K-Night 13, my loving brother. He's the one that filmed all our interviews with us, right, for the Kickout, because he's a full-time media cameraman. That's his job, right? So he came down to New York with us, did the red carpet with us. But he said, listen, he wanted to make sure. I think he had other plans too, because he was also there to do his own music ventures. He had did some music stuff out there, but he also really wanted to make sure that he did all the content for us to put on the YouTube. So all the stuff that you see on the Kickout channel when we red carpet, he was like, all right, so after the Hall of Fame it wasn't even done. He was like, after we filmed our interviews, he was like, listen, I'm going to go back to the hotel and I'm going to make sure I'll upload your interview straight away. I was like, oh, you don't want to stick around and watch the Hall of Fame? No. I'll make sure I get this all done. So him and Ace went back to the apartment, right? So it's me, Tay, Flu, all watching the Hall of Fame together. And the moment when Bret Hart gets attacked, right? I get a message from my brother's favorite wrestler is Bret Hart. That's his favorite wrestler. So I was surprised.
Oh no!
That's why I was surprised he didn't want to stay and watch the Hall of Fame. I was like, why don't you? But anyway,
because I sat with you, innit? I sat with you.
Yeah, you sat with us. Yeah, you were with us.
Yeah, because I took the seats.
My brother saying, who the fuck attacked Bret Hart? Capital letters, exclamation marks. Like, it was so funny, bro. But yeah, he was fuming. But yeah, that was jokes. But yeah, I think that was the last time we had you on the show, Roy.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, because I can't think of any. I don't know. That's probably it. Maybe. I don't know.
And anyway. not to say that you need an introduction, because I don't think you do. But for those who are maybe new to the Kickout and those who probably don't know much about the British wrestling scene, Roy Johnson is, I would say, a well-known star in the UK British scene. I will say that. Roy Johnson probably be very humble to say that himself, but I would definitely say that.
Apparently, I am. I read this the other day. Apparently, I read on some sort of press release about when Progress came back, which I'm sure we'll come to later. Popular UK indie star. I was like, "You're talking about me?"
Well, bro, listen, you've got a name,
away.
bro. You got a name. People know you international, worldwide. People do know you. You chop it up with MVP, even though MVP's family to us too, but you chop it up with MVP in a different level. You and MVP are very close. He's co-signed you a few times. So yeah, let's not underplay your achievements, bro. You've done a lot for yourself in the UK scene, bro. Trust me.
I appreciate that. I think
I knew about you. I knew about you before we met, bro. I was looking forward to your match with Pete Dunne. And that's why after you had that match with Pete Dunne, I approached you straight away and said, "Nah, you smashed it." And you were such a joy to talk to. Look at us now. We're like brothers now.
Like brothers, best mates.
We're like best mates now.
Yeah, to be fair, I apologize because I know you asked me a question. I've completely forgotten because I've taken this podcast everywhere. What have I been doing?
Yes.
What
you been doing during the COVID period, and what are you up to now?
So I sat about like everyone else, and then basically as soon as I was able to, I got on a flight to Ibiza and just stayed there. And just stayed there for a few months and just kind of reset, relaxed, just whatever I need to do to, I guess, refocus, because it was a difficult period. Obviously, it's a difficult period for everyone, but especially as a professional wrestler, when you've got, first, you're not able to do what you love doing, performing in front of crowds or whatever, and then also you're not allowed to at least train to be able to be good at what you're doing for when it comes back, because all wrestling schools are closed and what have you. Then there's all like, I don't want to touch too much into it, but all the stuff with speaking out and how, British wrestling, and well, not just British wrestling needed a whole just, stop, restart from fresh and clean. So it's been a difficult time as a professional wrestler. So I took myself abroad and just tried to at least enjoy what sort of summer I was allowed to have with the COVID conditions and stuff. And then I came back to try and sort out a few things paperwork-wise to try and get residency in Spain. And then we got locked down. And then we got locked down so far that Brexit then kicked in. And now I can't sort out my residency. So I'm back in London. I'm stuck here. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm with you guys. So,
but since you've been back, what you been doing though? Are you allowed to speak on it?
Nothing. I've been doing nothing, bro.
But when you just back from somewhere in particular?
Oh, I can talk about that. Yeah. Yeah. So as you will have seen, will be aware, I am the host for Progress Wrestling on the WWE Network. So yeah. Big up myself for that.
That's brilliant.
It's big.
That's brilliant, bro.
And I actually never really realized how big a deal it was until because we've done 2 sets of tapings now. So as in we've been doing them in blocks. So the first block the first episode of the first block was last Saturday. There'll be another episode this Saturday, and then I think it goes into fortnightly episodes. But yeah, we've recorded 2 blocks of tapings now, and it's just dawned on me how big a deal it is, because it's a WWE Network.
Exactly.
Bro,
this is gonna be
when I guess the news broke and everything. A-Dazzle, big up A-Dazzle. He hit me straight away. He was like, "Oh, Roy's gonna be hosting Progress," and I said, "Hosting? Why isn't he in the ring? Like, I want to see him in the ring." And then, you guys everyone done such a good job. I watched it on, I think, Sunday, so it must have aired on Friday or Saturday, was it?
Saturday, yeah. Well, it's actually it premiered Saturday 8 p.m. But apparently, I only realized worked this out, or was informed of this the other day. If there's a new show on the WWE Network, it's available to watch the day of the show. It doesn't matter what time it is. So people were watching it before it was premiered,
because I guess it's not
because
live,
it's already on there, but it's already on the WWE Network if you look for it. But it's it's loaded up for it to go on at the time they say it's going to premiere. So, but yeah, it's really, really big deal. To be fair, actually, I've only really realized after after recording however many episodes that it's what big deal it is. And I'm hosting a wrestling show on the WWE Network. That's mad. So
bro, that's really big, bro. I'm very proud of you, bro. I knew this will, and I've always believed in you, and I always knew that this will happen for you. So, I mean, it might not be in the way that you want it to be, but it's still something that's really good, and it could be really life changing for you.
Yeah, we hope so. Yeah, we hope so.
Absolutely. And do you enjoy hosting?
Yeah, I got to be honest. It was not tricky. Like, as you know, I'm a wrestler. I want to wrestle. It's new to me. Yeah, the first thing is new to me, so it's a complete new thing that we're doing. And this is one of the good things about working for Progress Wrestling is they kind of let you do what you want to do with the reins off. So I've got into this with the opportunity to kind of refresh myself and my character and that sort of thing, and then I've released the new me onto the biggest wrestling platform that there is. And in doing that, I'm trying to make this host and announcing job my own, so do it my own way. And I've seen the feedback and stuff, and some people love it, some people hate it in how I'm kind of doing the presenting job, but it's something that I'm learning to do, and I'm trying things, and things will work and things won't work, but we'll get there. But yeah, like, it's such a huge opportunity. Obviously, I want to wrestle, and I'd be lying to myself if there weren't moments of me having moments of absence where I'm sat filming for this show, and I'm like, oh man, I really want to wrestle, and I'm like, no, actually, you're presenting, you're doing this job. This is still a massive opportunity for you. This is still, like, it's all still very positive. But then I have moments where I'm like, oh man, I want to get in that ring.
I want to wrestle. From what I see from the press images, I didn't get to see it myself yet, but what I've seen, you're still wearing your gear, right? You're still wearing your...
Yeah, that's one of the things people didn't like. Yes, I've gone half and half.
So don't think, this might not be, this could lead into something where you're back in the ring in the WWE Network capacity.
I'm adamant that I will be back in a wrestling ring.
Absolutely,
and I'll be back wrestling on the WWE Network at some point. So, and if I'm being completely open and honest, I wouldn't take on the gig if it wasn't going to lead to me being back in the ring.
Good.
So I have no aspirations to slow down or stop wrestling. It's just an opportunity was presented to me to do something. And to do something that I think I'll be good at, they think I'll be good at. Like I said, there may be me getting used to the role.
Yeah.
And in getting used to the role, I'll need to try things out, see what works for me, what doesn't work for me. There's been no pilot episodes or no rehearsals, and no getting feedback from people and the fans until it actually goes live.
Yeah.
So we'll get there, and it will be even better than from what you've first seen on the first episode. So, but yeah, absolutely, in ring is where I want to be, and that's the goal, and we're going to get there. So
exciting times for you, Roy.
When I saw the hosting, I thought this could be a good extension of the gimmick, though, because
absolutely, that's how I saw it.
Yeah, if you get to a point where, like, you're back in Ibiza and you can have like a scenes of hosting parties and raves or whatever the case is, like, you would have ultimately built up the experience through doing this to be able to, kind of display that side of it. But yeah, man, just obviously whatever comes to you, you've taken it in your stride now. You'll get, better, improve, and eventually we'll get you back in the ring.
And it's such an integral part of the presentation for the Progress brand, for them being up on the network. That role was, I don't want to say it's made for me, but they needed someone to do it who the Progress audience are familiar with.
Yeah.
Obviously the previous host was one of the owners of the company, and he stepped down. So, they needed someone who's familiar with who the fans are familiar with to do the job. There's not many people who who have, well, there's not actually in general, there's not that many people on the Progress roster who's been there as long as I have. I've worked for the company since 2015. There's maybe two or three wrestlers there on the current roster that have been there as long or longer than me. So there's that. I'm quite comfortable with a microphone, so I don't mind. Even
you're very good. You're very good in the microphone, by the way. You're very good in the
microphone. It's something that I don't understand why people find it difficult, to be honest. It's just talking, but I'm quite comfortable with a microphone, whether that be in front of a camera or on a live audience. So it's something that definitely plays to my strengths, and something that I think I'm good at, and I'll only get better at. So anyway, being the ability to be able to talk is so important in wrestling, and I'm not going to get the opportunity to talk on camera on a WWE Network show as much as I am now, ever. Doesn't matter what happens to me after these shows. If I got signed, and I would still never get this much mic time ever. So it's a huge opportunity.
That's brilliant, brother. Well, listen, we're very happy for you, very excited for you. I think you should be very excited for yourself, and I think it's exciting time for Progress fans, exciting time for wrestling fans, and we can't wait to see what you do, Roy. Let's talk about, I guess, the world of wrestling next. Big Show, Paul White has become all elite. What is your thoughts on the Big Show signing with AEW?
It was crazy. When it happened, I guess when it was announced yesterday, announced through AEW channels as well. This weren't no leak or anything. They put out a press release and everything. There's two elements to it. It's the fact that he signed, and then the element of he's going to be a commentator, which he's never really done before, on a new show that's going up on YouTube, which is basically their NXT, if you want to call it that, which is going to be going at the same time as Monday Night Raw. So there's a couple. It's a light attack on Monday Night Raw, if you like. Being on YouTube as well. But I just think getting a legend over there, a face that's familiar to, of course, TNT as well, back in his days as the Giant. It's crazy, and it's mad that the way it's happened, because Big Show has since come out and said he didn't like the way WWE were treating him. There was a dispute over pay back in January, and especially at the Legends Night that they had a couple early January, I think that Legends Night on Raw. He voiced his displeasure then, and nothing was fixed by the end of January, and his contract was up and he walked. So
fair enough. Roy, are you happy to see Paul White in AEW?
If I'm completely honest, and it's my thing being honest, but when I saw the Paul White is it all elite or however they have these announcements, I was like, I thought it was a meme.
Same.
and that's no disrespect to the Big Show. Paul White, he's a legend in wrestling. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's done so much stuff. He's actually like a well-traveled long career, and he's won everything. He's done everything, It'd be good to see him actually try his hand at commentary. It's a new feather to his bow. He's got a lot of acting experience as well. Like, people forget what he's done in the movies, and he had a show. Was it a comedy show, a sitcom on Netflix?
The sitcom.
Yeah, so he's got the personality and the ability to talk and present and stuff. So. And I think having him anchoring this new show that's going up against WWE, they want people who are familiar with WWE. And I think a lot of people forget, with regards to this whole war between AEW and WWE, is the casual fan, they generally just see wrestling as wrestling. And they almost see the wrestling as just WWE. Casual fans don't know anything about, and when I say casual fans, I mean like the man on the street. You go up to them and ask them about wrestling, and they'll say Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold. They might say John Cena, whatever. if they're like, you know, an old British person, they'll probably say Big Daddy or what have you. But like, you present them a picture of AEW and they'll say, you know, what was this? They'll say WWE probably, or they'll say WWF probably actually. But like, I use my dad as an example. He got me into wrestling, so he knows quite a bit about it and what have you. And he's watched it with me for like years, up until probably I was about, I don't know, 20 odd. But I went to see him last year and I was watching AEW and he came into the living room and was like, oh, what's this one now? And like, you know, he thought it was another WWE show because Chris Jericho was on there and what have you. So to be able to get that, maybe that lapsed audience or people who may have watched WWE and get them to try something different, you're going to need like WWE guys, people who are recognizable from being in a WWE and what have you. Like, it's all well and good having like the talent that they have, like people like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and you know, Cody, John Moxley, whatever. Like, they're all fantastic, but to us, to people like myself and you guys who are like keen and avid wrestling fans, you don't need to be sold on these guys because you know everything about them. If you have like a WWE hook to bring people into your shows, and then you get guys like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and you know, all the talent they have on AEW, those are the guys that get people to stay and help, you know, keep that audience. So there's a lot of positives and plus sides of having the Big Show on especially on a new show that's going to introduce, from what I understand anyway, it's going to introduce new wrestlers or people who aren't featured as much on Dynamite.
Do you think they came to the realization quite late that, okay, we're gonna probably need star power here? Like, obviously, you know, Cody, Mr. Khan, they've all grown up in the business. Obviously, they're fans of the business. The fans they know how it goes, but they probably didn't want to go through the same route as a WCW or a TNA where they recruit the WWE stars. I think they probably felt a bit confident and saying, okay, well, we've got the Bullet Club guys. We could probably make something with this and we could probably make our own stars. But then they probably realized, oh, this is not as easy as they might have thought. Even with how they recruited Rusev and didn't want to push him straight to the main event because he's an ex-WWE guy. They were like, oh, no, let's put him in the mid card and we'll build him up our way as Miro or whatever. That's not really working. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like if somebody said to Cody and Khan, oh, Big Show will be good for our brand, they probably would have laughed at that a year ago. But now it's like they've actually making a signing of getting the Big Show in. It's because they probably realize, yeah, making stars is not as easy as we thought. We are definitely not Vince McMahon in that sense. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I'll let next go. I spoke for ages on the last.
That's all right. I think they did do that. So obviously that was them making Chris Jericho one of their headline signees when they launched the company, made him champion straight off the bat. So when people do kind of discover AEW, they see Chris Jericho, a relatively big household name, depending, you know, how your interest in wrestling. So they did try that, but, you know, it's a revolving door almost with wrestling. And I'm sure, you know, everything is to do with timing as well when it comes to wrestling. And I'm sure Roy can speak more on that. But I think it's definitely a thing where you see a talent that's now available. He has come out as well in the PR, in the press release. He came out and acknowledged he's been watching AEW. He's seen how they've grown. And, you know, it's a case of, I'm not finished. I've got more to do here. So they found a good role for him. And I think there's definitely a place for using these bigger names and stars in wrestling. It's just not necessarily interfering with the main event and coming to win gold all the time. But there's a place for using them. And I think in the past, especially with, you know, the guys they have, Arn Anderson, Jake the Snake and stuff, they've proven that they can use them effectively in certain pockets of the show.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Big Show Shaq. Is that what we're thinking? Paul White. Sorry, I should say Paul White.
They'll do something at some point. I don't know if they'll.
That match was supposed to happen. That match was supposed to happen in 2018 WrestleMania, I believe. It was supposed to be Shaq and the Big Show. That didn't happen. We might see it in the AEW ring. All right, let's keep it moving. NXT announces larger performance center signing in the latest class of signings they've got, the largest. They've got people like they've got Taya Valkyrie from Impact. Okay, that's really good. Parker Bordeaux. This is somebody that it's a lot of hype about this guy. He could be. Paul Heyman said a lot of interesting things about this guy on Twitter. He might be the next Brock Lesnar. We'll see. Eli Drake from Impact is also part of these signings. Christian Casanova, and obviously Rick Steiner's son. Was it Bronson, Rick Steiner? Very interested to see how he is. I really hope he wrestles like his dad, because his dad is was for me one of my favorites.
The Steiners were superb.
Steiners,
that's his tag team.
Listen, they used to go Japan and kick ass in Japan, bro. A lot of Americans went Japan and they folded because a lot of Japanese wrestlers put them on pressure. The Steiners, they never had any of that. They used to beat up them Japanese guys. So yes, I would love to see. And there's a lot of more signings I can mention, but interesting move by NXT. Still making loads of signings. They WWE got rid of loads of wrestlers last year, and now they're making loads more. I guess potential future. Anyone you're looking forward to on that list that you've seen on the large signings of NXT, this class of NXT?
For me, it'd be interesting to see how they do it. I know there's a new NXT show coming up, NXT Evolve, and from what I understand, the roster they got at the moment is large. I think everyone knows it's no secret. It's quite a large roster, so it'd be good to they've got more TV hours to allow these people to part their trade and learn. I guess learn the WWE way. So it'd be interesting to see. I'm trying to think now. Eli Drake was LA Knight or what he's going by now. Yeah. The promo that he cut on that show was it was superb. It was very, very Rock-like. The way he cut the promo, it was very I saw there's a lot of the Rock in how he was talking and how he's carrying himself in that promo. I haven't got the list in front of me, to be honest, but I did see something on Instagram yesterday. But I've actually been off social media a lot of this week, so I'm probably missing out on a lot of news and stuff. But there was one particular woman who looked superb, fantastic, black lady.
Oh yeah, she's part of Booker T's Houston Wrestling.
No, not her. Another one. So there's
another one.
Booker T. Oh. Yeah, the Booker T's trainee. He does the shooting star press.
Yeah.
Very clean. Very clean.
She looked very good.
And then there's another lady, stunning lady, black lady. I can't remember what her name is. Begins with a K or something, I think.
Okay.
I remember the picture, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see her.
I'm gonna go through some questions that we've been could be asked. Listeners of the podcast to ask us some questions. This is from @BigBlue_. Kickout. Will Parker Bordeaux be a surprise X Factor in next week's WWE Raw Championship match? I already replied to this guy. I should have saved it for the podcast. I said, I hope not. I think he will have a major push, no doubt, but I doubt he will get that straight away.
Does he have any? Has he wrestled before? Is he on the Indies, or there's an athlete they've plucked?
No, I think he wrestled.
He can do some damage.
I think he's done some wrestling, but he was still very much focused in NFL and
right.
Major League Football. So I think he still needs to go at NXT and kind of apply his craft. I think they have high hopes for him. He might be a natural like Brock Lesnar, but I doubt he'll be involved in that role. Max, what do you think?
Right now, with all due respect, it's just all look. He looks like Brock Lesnar when Brock Lesnar came onto the scene 02, 03 times. I really hope he turns out, to be good and kind of live up to the hype that he's got, sort of thing. But it's hard to say because he's not someone that we know off the Indies or anything like that.
Yeah. Another question from Novak84. My question is, should WWE keep the belt on Roman for 2 years until they can have the match versus The Rock at WrestleMania 39? Roy, let's go to you first.
I mean, for entertainment purposes, yes, because I'm loving everything I see from Roman Reigns at the moment. But I think in terms of probably people's attention spans, people won't want to see someone have the belt for 2 years. They can take it off him and put it back on him.
That's true. They could
to get that match. So
Max.
Yeah, I think especially this time. Sorry, especially in this day and age where there's competition. You know, if someone's holding the belt for 2 years, you're not going to hold people's attention and hold their ratings. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter who it is. For 2 years, it's too long. So,
Max.
Yeah. I've been a Roman fan since people were booing him, so I'm living for this right now. I love it. I could be tuned in every week if he's giving us what he's giving us now for 2 years. I would be happy. But the truth of the matter is, Roman and Rock would not need a title to tell the story they need to tell. The head of the table, who's really the king of the Samoan dynasty, or whatever they're gonna tell, it doesn't need the belt. The match is above the belt. Like, especially the Universal title and how the kind of rocky history of the Universal title. If it was for the WWE Championship, maybe different, but the story that these two are gonna tell, hopefully we do get that match one day at WrestleMania. Yeah, it doesn't even need to.
This is how they need to book the Rock Roman angle, right? So obviously, Roman's been, how Roman's been doing this whole thing with he's the head of the table, and obviously there was that time when actually the Wild Samoans actually greeted him as such when they put the they crowned him as the head of the table. But obviously, as time goes on, he gets a bit more crazy, a bit more paranoid, as we're seeing on SmackDown. And then he starts abusing more members of the family. He starts abusing not only just the Usos, but maybe Rikishi, maybe, Alpha Seeker might even get it. Alpha Seeker's auntie or whatever. A woman member of the Samoan family needs to get abused. And that's why The Rock steps in. It's like, no, you're going too far now. And I'm the real head of the family, and then them two clash that way. What do you guys think of that? Samoa drop, Roman Reigns to Samoa drop an 80-year-old Samoan lady, huh?
No, no.
What?
Your ideas are so wild, man.
Super kick, splash, what? Spare.
So I liked your idea up to the point. I thought you were going to change it, but
I was joking about that.
I think he should lose control. I think Jimmy comes back and joins Jay. Maybe we even see the likes of Naomi, Tamina all jumping in. Then there's this dominance, and they fall off. These guys, maybe he loses the Universal title, and these guys start wavering. They don't want to believe in him anymore. Is he still the head of the table? And maybe he starts losing the plot, attacking them, and maybe then someone goes to report him to The Rock, saying, "Look, you need to come and deal with this guy."
Well, like, I don't know if there's anyone within that family that The Rock's championing as much as Roman. Do you know what I mean? For him to be able to go at someone. The only one I can think of is Nia Jax, but I don't. It doesn't make sense for him to go for her. So I don't even think it needs it. It's such a big marquee. Yeah. There's so many ways they can go into it. It's just The Rock coming back for one appearance and Roman getting his face because he's ahead of the table and he's taking the spotlight. That's what it needs to be.
And if it does happen, The Rock needs to lose, right?
The Rock will put him over, I think.
He needs to lose, and that needs to be his last match, right?
If it's Hollywood, then it makes sense. Story, everything makes sense. Is in place for that to happen, I guess. So, The Rock, he is a Hollywood star. Yes, he can retire in Hollywood, get put in the Hall of Fame in Hollywood. Makes sense, I guess.
That's it.
I vividly remember when The Rock faced against CM Punk at Royal Rumble, and I watched it at Flu's. And when how they did the fall when Punk first originally won, they did like a full fall where Punk actually walked away and he had and Flu was like, "What? The Rock put CM Punk over? Oh, well done!" He's like, "Oh, well done, Rock. That's great." He's like, "That's amazing." And then when the referee said to restart the match, he was like, "Oh, fuck!" He was so angry. Oh, that's good times.
That was Punk's last match, wasn't it?
No.
He's around for another year or so.
Oh yeah, it was the other year. It was the other Royal Rumble. Yeah.
Another last question, and it's again by Big Blue _. Thank you. You really loving our podcast. Question for the Kickout podcast team to debate: who is the last big return pop left in WWE? Will it happen? If so, when? Obvious answer is CM Punk. Yes, but if the money's right, but who else is a big return pop in WWE?
I don't know if there is one.
Edge had it, I guess. And I didn't see
I don't think there is one now. CM Punk would be a big one, but it won't be as big as it could be now.
They kind of, or he kind of?
No, because obviously he came. It'd be huge anyway if he comes back. Massive news, but he came back to do backstage, and it's kind of like,
Punk, that's Punk's fault though, isn't it?
Well, I guess he didn't want to wrestle, but they made whatever agreement between Fox and himself. So it's kind of like that kind of dilutes any return Pop because he's come back on WWE TV.
Him again.
Yeah, so it's kind of like he's kind of in with the company, kind of. So it wouldn't be as big a shock if he just appeared.
Will AJ Lee get a big pop?
No,
not like that.
I don't know who would know, actually, to be honest. I really don't. It'd be
The Rock.
The Rock always gets those pops. He always gets those.
It'd be a debut pop now, I think, rather than a return pop.
It'd probably be like
substantial.
Yeah, the big pop will probably be like maybe AEW guys coming over, or
like, I don't think they'll get anything bigger than AJ Styles' debut pop.
Kenny could.
Edge's pop at the Royal Rumble. That was
Kenny could get a pop similar to AJ at the Royal Rumble. Not as big.
I don't think
I don't think it'd be as big, but
it won't be as big.
But Kenny's been the talk of the town of wrestling for a while.
Kenny would get a big pop if the run was in the right town.
Like New York. In New York,
if it was New York, yeah, absolutely. But I don't think I watched that Royal Rumble back a couple of weeks ago, and that pop was ridiculous for AJ Styles.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
It was.
Yeah, of course.
I think maybe Edge's one might have been, or at least it might have sounded louder because the arena was actually bigger.
No, Edge's one was louder because Edge is the biggest.
Yeah, it was louder. Yeah.
Edge is the biggest star than AJ Styles. That's why.
Yeah. There's nothing going to
be. When you're WWE for so long, you're going to be a bigger star than anyone.
Yeah.
And that people actually think you're completely done with wrestling, and you've been away for 10 years or what have you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So they were surprised to see him come back. That really made me realize how loved Edge is. I like Edge, but I was never a massive Edge fan like that.
Same.
But you do see a lot of people loved Edge, man, which is good, which is nice.
And how good he is, man.
He is good.
I think he's one of the best talkers they have at the moment. Like
that's what
I don't know if it's like if he's gone away and he's done acting stuff and that's made him a better. Well, yeah, I know he's done it, but if that's made him a better talker, I just don't remember him being fantastic at it. But
he wasn't when he was feuding with Matt.
He's like next level. Like like when he does a promo, I actually feel. He actually makes me feel something when I'm watching it. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, that sounded good, and I like the way you say that and whatever. But like, I actually feel like what he's talking about, and you know why his return is so important to him. I was like, yeah, I think he's like the best talker. Well, the best. Yeah, I'd say one of the best talkers in the company at the moment. So
yeah. I didn't get to see NXT, but I did see Swerve Scott.
Yeah,
he had attacked Leon
Ruff.
Yeah, Leon Ruff.
Yeah,
I haven't watched NXT this week. Well, I can't watch it until. This is the thing. The annoying thing with like NXT over here is it goes live in America. It's live on big TV and that. And then what is it on the network next week or tomorrow or? It just appears for me.
It's
weird. Like I don't know if it's because so I got BT Sport, right? Big up to Skillet for his association with BT Sport. So I don't know if because I got BT Sport that it appears on my TV box the next day, or if it appears on the network the next day. I don't know. I can't work it out yet, but. So I can't get into a good pattern of watching it.
Yeah.
But I don't know where I was going with this. So I haven't seen it this week, basically.
I saw the attack. The attack looked brutal, man. That was a brutal attack, bro.
Yeah. I personally think that Swerve Scott and Leon Ruff are going to be at the very front of this NXT Evolve show. I think they're going to be like right at the top of the card. So I think that's why they're really trying to get over their rivalry that they're having.
Okay, that's good.
But yeah, good to see that they're getting that airtime, basically.
Did you watch NXT, Max?
Yeah, by some somehow means.
And any
Just taken from our plate. It's just stealing food off our table, Max. So
I need to report to the people.
it's Blame Skillet. It's fine.
It's anything notable to talk about? Anything to talk about?
We saw. I think Zoe Starks is another name that's been signed recently. I never knew much of her in the Indies, but she's come in like a house on fire. Literally, she's been so good since she come in. She was in the women's Dusty Classic a couple of weeks ago. She went out of that with her tag partner. Since then, she squashed someone last week. Very impressive. Her finisher is like some reverse kind of go to sleep, proper good. And she faced obviously the champion Io Shirai this week in a non-title match. Put on a good showing. Xia Li, she's been obviously she's got like a new repackaging. Been super brutal, and she continued with that against KC Catanzaro this week. And then we had in the main event, in fact, Karrion Kross versus Santos Escobar. That is the best match I've seen Karrion Kross involved in.
I see Karrion Kross doing some madness. We're doing like a back suplex on the announce table.
Saito suplex through the announce table, and I literally saw Santos Escobar's neck like on a curve as he landed, and I just winced.
Yeah,
he was good. He was fine. Yeah, that's the best match. It was a non-disqualification match, so they went here, there, and everywhere around the arena. It was really good.
All right, I'll check that out.
And then Adam Cole has fully turned on these guys now, which has
so Undisputed Era is done now.
Oh, they are done, man. Adam Cole is gone into his own world now.
What did he do? He turned on Roderick Strong, didn't he?
Yeah. He low blowed him, super kicked him.
Oh man, you're heartbroken. I can see it in your face,
bro. I love everything about Undisputed Era, man. Everything about them, and it's been a good run. It was going a bit stale, so I guess they have to change things up. But
they might repackage and they might need some solo time for like a year or so, and maybe reunite in the main roster as Undisputed again. You never know. What about Young Rock? Has that second episode been on yet?
I think it came out today.
Okay, I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna check that after the podcast. We'll talk about that next week. Okay, AEW. I can't remember how AEW kicked off.
John Moxley versus
yes, he cut a
Dolph
promo,
Ziggler's brother.
He looks like Ziggler, boy.
Yeah. It's hard because the guy's good, but he's gonna have this affiliation with Dolph Ziggler, which is obviously gonna be a bit hard to shake for his career.
I think he's running with it though, isn't he? Like,
I don't think he minds. He's doing the whole
Hollywood
stuff as well. Like,
the Hollywood stuff. His trunks are very much like Ziggler's old trunks, and kind of similar size, and they move similar ways as well. So I think he's just kind of running with it, which I probably would as well, to be fair.
Yeah, so it makes sense. But I guess he's gonna have to, once he gets more like airtime on the mic and that, he might have to put a spin on it somehow. But he's doing good. People like him, which is the most important thing.
So Moxley beats him, cuts a promo afterwards, didn't he? And
this promo was really good.
Okay, very intense.
Yeah, super intense, and of course he's just had a match, so he's like trying to catch his breath. But at the same time, it added to the fight feel of the promo of him basically saying, it basically sounded like on March 7th in this barbed wire match, he's gonna die. And I'll see you all later. That's basically what it sounded like. I'm going to give it my all, guys. You're going to see how much I love this. You know how he goes when he gives his promos. It was proper good. And obviously we assume that this is going to be him going on paternity leave for an extended period. So, yeah.
The Young Bucks and their parents were backstage, weren't they?
Yeah, their dad got beaten up by Chris Jericho and MJF.
And the Young Bucks chased after the car very slowly. My dad's getting beaten up to a bloody pump. I'm sprinting. It was very much like no.
Building up for their match on Revolution, which should be decent, but got the parents involved.
Okay, Roy, did you watch AEW?
I do, but this is another one where I have it on record or series link on ITV Hub.
ITV4, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and it just appears in my box when it's ready. It's not in there today because I don't know if it's been shared. It's been aired on a ITV4 yet. It might appear on there tomorrow. It might appear on there Monday. I don't know. So
might.
My Virgin Plus box is very sometime-ish. Apart apart from when it's like Raw or actually SmackDown's very sometime-ish as well. Actually, I don't know why, but Raw and NXT UK the only ones that are in there the time they're meant to be. Everything else is just when it feels like it. So I've not seen AEW yet. I'll hopefully catch it over the weekend.
Cool. I won't spoil too much for you then.
So
it's all sport now for me.
You think Young Bucks will retain against MJF and Jericho?
Yeah, I don't expect Chris Jericho and MJF to win.
I think they might win, you know.
They could literally, but yeah.
The main event. Oh yeah, no, we had Nyla Rose versus Britt Baker. Is that what happened? Was that the match?
Yeah, it was part of the women's qualifiers this tournament.
Where's she been, by the way? So Nyla Rose. I suppose she's not been around for a while.
Good question. She's just been backstage and just not out here really. She hasn't been injured or anything like that. She's been doing skits on like what's that show called? Being the Elite and stuff like that on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, just hasn't been featured so much. Britt Baker, who I thought was gonna win this tournament and go on to be women's champion, actually lost here. But it was a really good match. AEW, they're beginning to turn the corner with their women's division. They've noticed that putting it earlier on in the night, giving it more time, don't put a commercial break in the middle of it, it's working out and people are kind of taking to it a bit more. The women are getting to show a bit more as well in longer matches. So it's working. It was a brutal match. Nyla Rose won in the end with a beast bomb.
What did you think of the Darby Allin Sting segment?
So I wasn't into Darby Allin coming out of the rafters on a zip line like Shawn Michaels. I you know what? Some people said it was cool, but I think if anything, that should have been reserved for a pay-per-view or the pay-per-view they're gonna fight at on the weekend, next weekend. I thought that Sting dragging out Taz's son in a body bag was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Taz took forever to come and rescue his son, which was in a body bag, which is kind of weird. But then Sting had some offense getting some revenge on Brian Cage from last week. Stinger Splash, Scorpion Deathlock. Apparently last week when he took that power bomb, he was wearing padding underneath his t-shirt.
Right.
So
makes sense.
Yeah.
You might have to do that going forward, man.
Yeah, but I mean,
if you're gonna take bumps like that,
his neck still whipped back and hit the canvas. So, but he was okay to obviously do what he had to do this week. So that's what's important, I guess. So yeah.
Lance Archer, Ray Phoenix main event. Talk to me.
Match of the night. I'll say, check this out. Ray Phoenix is incredible, and I don't understand how this guy. I think we spoke about this before. There's probably things I've heard. This thing with his brother Penta about visa issues, this, that, and the other. I don't know why no one's like committing to him yet, because he's so good in the ring. Lance Archer is definitely having a great run as well. I think he's main evented maybe the last 3 Dynamites or so. Just a great athletic big man. He won the match. And it went really long. It went really close to, when the TV broadcast was meant to end. So he's going to be in this ladder match for the TNT title at Revolution, along with Cody, Penta, and Scorpio Sky.
I like the spud at the end when they spudded each other.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm surprised. So they mentioned Paul White signing over Twitter, but there was no mention of him on the show, was there?
So they mentioned it. Yeah, they mentioned it, but they did kind of gloss over it. And obviously the initial press release that came out said he's going to do this commentary role on this new show. But then when Tony Schiavone mentioned it on TV, he said, yeah, he's got the commentary role and he's got a wrestling license. Okay. So confirming what we all knew, that he's definitely going to get in the ring at some point. But he's going to be on the show next week. I'm guessing after the Shaq match next week, him and Shaq will have that first, confrontation face to face, and that will lead to whatever they may do down the road.
Okay. All right. Well, on the kick out, we tried to make things switch up a bit. We tried to have some fun in the kick out. So it's time for a brand new kick out quiz. So recently, obviously, this is going to be head to head, Mex versus Roy.
Okay.
Recently, we have seen The Miz cash in his Money in the Bank contract against Drew McIntyre to become a 2-time WWE champion. So this quiz theme will be on cash-ins.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a few questions, and you guys are going to hopefully answer them for me.
Is it like a buzzer thing, or is you asking me one and then next one, or how's it going?
I was going to do 1 and 1, but maybe
yeah, cool. Yeah, please. No, I don't want to do the buzzer.
Yeah,
thing.
do 1 and 1. That's fine.
We'll do 1 and 1. If you get one question wrong, Roy, you have a chance to steal.
Cool.
Mex has a chance to steal. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with Mex first. Mex.
Yeah.
Edge is the first ever Money in the Bank winner, right? But he cashed in his contract.
John Cena
against 2 opponents.
Oh.
Can you please name me the 2 opponents?
John Cena was one of them, right?
Absolutely.
As in, it became a triple threat match.
No. So you have to remember he won Money in the Bank.
You're talking about 2 different occasions.
2 different occasions he cashed in his contract.
Okay. So John Cena was one, and the Undertaker was the other one?
That is correct. Okay. Roy. Rob Van Dam became the 2nd ever Money in the Bank winner. But who did he cash his contract against?
John Cena.
Thank you very much. Next. CM Punk has won the Money in the Bank twice. Can you please name me 2 opponents he's cashed it in on?
I know. Edge was definitely one. Right? Is that right? Oh, I forgot. Edge and I don't know.
Roy?
For some reason, I'm drawing a blank. I want to say Kane.
That is incorrect, guys. So Mex was right. One of them was Edge, but the other one was Jeff Hardy.
Oh, he had that wicked feud of him as well. That's annoying.
Roy.
Yeah.
Jack Swagger won the Money in the Bank in 2010. Who did he cash it in on?
Chris Jericho.
That is correct.
I remember that because I was vexed. So vexed.
Max.
Yes.
Kane also won Money in the Bank that year. Who was his opponent when he cashed it in on?
It was in the same night. It was Rey Mysterio, wasn't it?
That is correct. Yeah. It's getting a bit easy for you guys, isn't it?
You're going in order, aren't you?
I'm not going to go in order. I'm going to change the order now.
Oh. I was thinking, aren't these like year after year? Like?
Yeah, but it's recent history. That's probably why it's so easy. Or easy. I say easy. I'm going to get a hard one now, probably. But anyway.
Damien Sandow once upon a time won the Money in the Bank, but unfortunately he lost it to who?
As in lost the contract, or
he cashed it in, but he lost it to which opponent? So he didn't lose the contract. He actually cashed it in, but he lost the match that he cashed it in on.
John Cena.
Correct. John Cena squashes everybody, doesn't he?
No, he just won. He's just...
Yeah, and then we never saw Sandow the same ever again. But to be fair, I don't think Sandow that's probably a right choice. Max, Carmella was the first ever Money in the Bank for women. Sorry, the women's Money in the Bank winner. But who did she cash it in on?
Was Carmella the first winner, or was it Ellsworth?
Nah.
I
see what you did there.
I'm gonna guess Charlotte.
That is absolutely correct. This is 3 and 3 so far. Oh, I see if you remember this one, Roy. In 2017, Baron Corbin was the second wrestler to lose his Money in the Bank contract. But who did he lose it to?
I'm trying to remember which year it was. I'm gonna say John Cena again.
That is incorrect.
Can I steal? Yeah.
Yes, you can.
John Cena screwed him when he went to cash it in, and it was to Jinder Mahal. If I'm correct.
That is correct.
I knew Cena was involved.
Max.
Fair enough.
Bailey, another women's Money in the Bank winner. Who did she cash it in on?
Charlotte.
That is correct.
I just assume Charlotte must be the champion. So,
Roy, Brock Lesnar won a Money in the Bank match in controversial fashion. But who did he cash it in on?
He wasn't even part of it.
Kofi.
No, that's incorrect.
What?
No.
The other champion at the time. If you remember.
Whatever. I've lost. I didn't get it right.
Next.
That's annoying. Of course he did. Of course he did.
Seth Rollins.
That is right. Yes.
Of course he did.
It's not looking good, Roy.
It's not, is it? It's embarrassing.
Max.
Yep.
Sheamus won the Money in the Bank in 2015. Who did he cash it in on?
What's his face? Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Roy, Dean Ambrose won the Money in the Bank at some time. Who did he cash it on?
Seth Rollins.
That is correct. This is just.
I think we need a better quiz next time.
I thought this could be things that have happened around involving the Money in the Bank, not just who's
not.
I want to
do that. I want to do that during Money in the Bank
season.
Pay-per-view.
Okay.
I'll give a bit more of a detailed quiz. But let's wrap it up there because it's all it is just cash in. And the winner of the Money in the Bank cash in briefcase quiz, Max.
It wasn't a very good quiz anyway, but
shit. But that's okay. I tried. Well, I didn't try. I just kind of briefly just made it up on the spot. Roy, thank you for joining us. Do you have anything else to say before we sign out, my friend?
No, not much to plug really. If you know the Kickout, you know my socials by now, but I'll say them anyway.
Yes, please.
I'm on every single social media platform that you wish to find me on as Roy Johnson. Yeah, so that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Catch Progress Wrestling on the WWE Network. So when's this one going out?
It's going to probably go out tomorrow. Tonight.
Okay, so in which case, catch Progress Wrestling. I'll say tomorrow, but I'll mean Saturday on the WWE Network.
Is it weekly?
At the moment, it is.
So I think monthly.
No, at the moment it's weekly, and then it'll go to every fortnight, and then every fortnight, and then until hopefully we'll be in a position where we'll be able to wrestle in front of crowds soon. I hope so. Given the recent announcement, so there's Progress on WWE Network this Saturday coming up. I don't really have much else to plug. I have a merch store if people want to check that out. I understand money's tight for people at the moment, so I'm not too fussed about if they do or not. And keep listening to the Kickout podcast.
Thank you for more terrible quizzes.
Because quizzes aside, they are great.
Quizzes aside.
Max, do you have anything to say, Max, before we sign out?
No, just follow Kickout podcast on social media, and check out on the WWE Network Progress Chapter 104 was the first one that come out.
So 105 is coming up on Saturday. Features the very first women's Thunder Bastard match. So Thunder Bastard. So Thunder Bastard match is a Progress original match. So basically, it's like the Royal Rumble. It's like an elimination match with like kind of Royal Rumble rules. So as in every 2 minutes, a new entrance into the match comes in, and yeah, the winner is the last person who's standing. Not standing because it's not over the top, but it's like, you know, eliminations via pinfall, submission, the disqualification. So the last one standing is the winner, and that's the very first one Progress have ever done within their women's division. So a small bit of history.
That name is sensational.
That's a great name.
I'm probably saying it just for fun now. Like, I'm
probably saying it wrong because it's a northern thing, so it's probably Thunder Bastard. But I'm from London, so I say bastard. So there you go.
I'm you're gonna see it randomly in your timeline, just Thunder Bastard.
This is what's going to happen to me on Saturday. I'll get a lot of angry Northerners saying I pronounce Thunder Bastard wrong. That's going to be the new thing people are going to dig me out for this week. But we'll see.
And we're all in agreement that Dolph Ziggler still has the best cash-in of all time, right?
Against Alberto?
Yeah.
Not for me.
Only because of the crowd.
What's better than that? As a pop?
Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, bro.
Rollins is the best one.
Right.
That's mine. That is.
I apologize. I take that back. You're right.
The heist of the century. Come on, man.
Yeah. Seth stole it. Yeah, that was the best. I think that was the first time a cash-in turned into a triple threat as well, wasn't it?
Might have.
Yeah, that was the first time that's ever happened. Yeah, but he turned a cash-in.
Big match, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best WrestleManias ever.
I agree.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite WrestleManias of the last.
Me too.
Likewise.
And that main event. Whew,
I'll actually always go back and watch that WrestleMania because it's one of my favorites. Yeah, it's one of the best I've been to as well. Actually,
you were there, Roy. This is Roy was doing. This is when Roy was doing his WrestleMania after WrestleMania after WrestleMania after showstopper.
That was my first one as a. So I made my debut 2 months before. A month before that WrestleMania. So that's my first one as a wrestler. But that's my favorite one I've been to, I think.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's another story for another time.
that moment alone of Rollins cashing in is what fully got me back into wrestling. Like,
really?
I thought that was brilliant. That's what
I went nuts,
about,
bro. I went crazy when that happened, bro. I remember jumping up and throwing my fist in the air like yes, because I didn't want Reigns to win it. So that was brilliant. And I loved Rollins. No, but it wasn't even that. It was the fact that it felt like to me, even though Rollins was actually getting a push, like looking back, Rollins was definitely getting an uber push. He was winning the bank holder. He still had a great spot, but it felt like they were force feeding this Reigns thing where I knew Rollins was a superior wrestler. So I wanted Rollins to win because of that. So, you know, you have to remember that earlier that year, before that Mania, Rollins stole the show with that triple threat match with Lesnar and
in
Cena.
the Royal Rumble.
Rollins' performance in that match was incredible. Yeah. So this is the thing. I think people need to look at context to the reason why Reigns was getting booed. No one disagrees that Reigns is not a good wrestler, but he was being force fed down our throats, and he wasn't ready. He's ready now, but he wasn't ready then.
Like we're saying, timing in wrestling seems to be everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Then it wasn't his time, and they were trying to kind of make it his time necessarily.
Yeah, so. That's it. And they've done that with Cena before. They did that with Cena. You know, so. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. We'll sign out. We'll do this again. Roy, love you, bro. Thank you for coming in, and we're happy.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We're gonna tune in. We're gonna tune in Saturday. I'm gonna take pictures of you while you're on the network. I'm gonna share it on my Instagram like I always do. And yeah, man, we'll have you on again soon, my brother. And Max, we'll do a review show of Raw next week. And we'll have a lot more guests coming in the Kickout. We can't talk about who because I don't like doing that until it's confirmed. So, yes, this is the Kickout podcast. We are out. Thank you. Oh, yeah, please send us more questions on Twitter. We enjoy your questions. Thank you.